In a significant move, the House of Representatives has voted to censure Representative Rashida Tlaib for recent anti-Israel comments. While only 22 Democrats supported the measure, 212 Republicans voted to make it stick. Before the vote, Republican Representative Rich McCormick stated, "If this is not worthy of censure, what is? When you call for the annihilation of a country and its people, is that not worthy of censure? What is?" Now, at the end of the day, Tlaib remains unremorseful, stating, "The idea that criticizing the Israeli government is anti-Semitic sets a dangerous precedence." Now, she has made pro-Palestinian comments, which is fine. I believe she is Palestinian. But when she calls for no support for Israel, or she chants to have Israel, all 8 million Jews, wiped off the map, that's where people have to draw a line and say, whoa, there's got to be another way to get through this. A far-left Islamic group named the Council of American Islamic Relations is pressuring the Biden administration to grant temporary amnesty for Palestinians in the United States. Basically, they would come over, be protected, and taken care of using American taxpayer dollars. Now, in the letter, the group asked Biden to ensure Palestinians don't get deported by providing them with temporary protected status and delayed enforcement departure status. As expected, Republicans pushed back heavily, with some calling this request highly dangerous. In regards to Biden, he seems to be keeping his mouth shut. That way he can play both sides of the aisle. Now, in a shocker, Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia has just made the call to not run for Senate again. He said, "This was the toughest decision of my life." After previously expressing his disgust for the current state of the Democrat Party, he announced today that he will not seek reelection. Remember, Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona also said that the Democrat Party disgusted her and she became an independent. Now, in regards to the future, Joe Manchin stated, "What I will be doing is traveling the country and speaking out, seeing if there is an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together." Now, I actually like Joe Manchin. He's a very down-to-earth, middle-of-the-road Democrat who kept inflation from being significantly worse because he voted against Biden's $3 trillion green energy bill. However, I don't think he's actually going to retire. I think he is planning to run for president of the United States. He's going to travel the country to see if they like a middle-of-the-road politician like himself. By the way, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. When you do that, it pushes it out to the algorithm and it really helps me out. So thank you so much. Former President Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, has just dismissed the New York civil fraud case as a political sideshow orchestrated by the Attorney General, Letitia James. Habba claimed that the judge essentially determined that Trump was guilty before the trial even began. She stated the judge isn't interested in common sense. Letitia James is not interested in the real story. This is the sideshow for her politics. Now, many videos have surfaced where she told people she was running on the "I will get Donald Trump" ticket, and that's exactly what she's been doing. So she's been using Donald Trump to further her career, whether it hurts Donald Trump financially or not. Now, if things couldn't get worse in this case, this judge tried to have Donald Trump's own children betray him out of fear. And they're doing something similar down in Florida, where he kept documents, and his legal team has announced that the team bringing the case against him is planning to call Trump's cooks, his gardeners, his plumbers, his groundskeeper, and many other employees to testify against Donald Trump. Now, they're just hoping that these people will betray Donald Trump. But here's the sad reality. Some of them, although they're legal citizens, they don't speak very good English. And so they're planning to scare the bejeebies out of these people and threaten their families in order to get them to betray Trump. It's a really, really dirty trick, and it's pretty disgusting. Now, speaking of common sense, Trump has just claimed he would consider Tucker Carlson as his vice president running mate because he's so level-headed. During a new appearance on the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show, Trump stated, "I like Tucker a lot. I guess I would have him as a running mate." Furthermore, Trump expounded on this point by claiming that Democrats lack common sense. He stated, "They say that you guys are conservative or I'm conservative. It's not that we're conservative. We have common sense. We want to have a safe border. We want to have a wall because walls work." So let me know your thoughts down below. What would you think of a Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson presidential ticket? I really want to hear from you, so please write it down below. Now, back in California, both Governor Gavin Newsom and President Joe Biden's approval ratings are dropping like crazy. A new poll conducted in parts of Los Angeles showed that Gavin Newsom now has an all-time low disapproval rating of 49%. In regards to Biden, he performed even worse with a disapproval rating of 52%. I like to think of California as a fairly good representation of progressive Democrats, and even they are saying we're done with Biden and we're done with Gavin Newsom. Now, they may still try to slip Gavin Newsom in because he's young, he's handsome, he's rich, he's articulate, he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. You see where I'm going with this? I believe he's going to be the person more than Michelle Obama that the Democrats try to slip in last minute. Reports have indicated that President Biden has just received a comprehensive briefing on China's ambitious plan to put their first military base in the Middle East. This is scary as it shows that China is in fact looking to replace the United States on the world stage. They're going where our military is. They're actively working to destroy the petrodollar, the US dollar. They're forming the BRICS alliance to get enemies to combine against the United States. So it's going to be very interesting to see what life looks like over the next 4 or 5 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has asserted that Israel may indefinitely maintain security responsibility over Gaza after the war. Ironically, this statement seems contradictory since U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken basically said this isn't going to happen. Now, this is what Blinken said. "We also know that Israel cannot resume control and responsibility for Gaza. And it's important to note that Israel has made it clear that there is no intention or desire to do that." Now, this stunning disconnect will likely cause rising tension among the world. So I'll continue to keep you updated. But what do you think? If Israel kicks all of those Palestinians out and then takes their land, is that justified or is that just stealing land? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, speaking of Hamas, Netanyahu just demanded transparency from all major news outlets, CNN, the New York Times, the Associated Press, Reuters, and more. Here's what happened.
Sorry.
Shh, my watch. They've just learned that one of the contracted camera people for CNN knew that Hamas was going to attack Israel, said nothing, and then got all of the best photos to sell to CNN. Now we know why CNN knew about this tragedy so early. Now, according to them, they're saying we knew nothing and we have fired this person, but that person knew and chose not to tell people, and 1,300 people in Israel have died and about 10,000 people in Palestine because of that chicken photographer not willing to defend innocent people. All right, now back in Washington, D.C., the White House is vehemently protesting the recent subpoenas directed at Joe Biden himself, requiring him to testify under oath. They accused James Comer of making a nasty personal smear campaign against a sitting president. Unfortunately for them, Comer is saying, hey, I've got all the evidence and we're going to stitch it together, and Joe Biden is going to look really, really bad all on his own. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, watch right here or watch right here. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the next video.